This here now is basically, we're getting into the parts of the blood supply. The blood, your body's 80% water, and in the blood of the body you have formed cells. Red blood cells, which carry oxygen. White blood cells, which respond to infections and foreign things in your body. And platelets, the smallest of all these foreign products. And platelets are involved, by and large, in healing up holes and damages. They cause clots to form by a certain mechanism. So the only way clots can form, and they do that, help fix up damage and patch your own body's ability to create band-aids from the inside blood vessels to stop you from bleeding in yourself. But if you look here, it's giving the constituents of how much all these products in your blood represent. Plasma, the fluid portion of the blood, is the vast majority of it. The red blood cells is a smaller portion, and less than 1%, less than 0.1% are the white blood cells, which are physically bigger than all the other formed cells in the body, and they all are part of blood and blood flow. These things have to be flowing naturally to all these areas to do their job. But what we'll see later on, one of the problems here is that these white blood cells are actually physically bigger, like golf balls, than the red blood cells, which are kind of like little discs that go on the side and fit through small pipes, but the white blood cells cannot get down there. They do not bend, they cannot bend in half, and they cannot bend their shape to fit down small pipes. So to a certain extent, this is part of one of the problems leading to the ischemia and strokes in response to immune hyperstimulation, but also that's one piece, that's the mass piece, there's more features to it. The other piece is the zeta, which is the electrostatic charge around these formed particles. And just let you know, these things are in your blood and moving through your blood freely. This slide here, ladies and gentlemen, this is where all these problems lie. Autism spectrum, sudden infant deaths, learning disabilities, attention deficit disorders, seizure disorders, Gulf War syndrome, dementia even. The whole range of these seemingly diverse different categories of disease all come back down, multiple different triggers, to a common physiological mechanism involving mass and zeta to cause these problems of sludging in the blood. And this knowledge has been known since the 1900s, 1903, more specifically in empirical observational data, published peer review, over 16 years looking at it, salamanders, frogs, gerbils, medical students, monkeys, every mammal known, thousands of experiments. See it for yourself. The sludging problem is a big problem in all these diseases. You can't emerge from that problem. This is a problem with fluid dynamics and fluid flow. Complicated, simplifying it, is blood flow. And now we're going to see it live. This slide here basically is looking at a white blood cell. Now this is looking inside the blood vessel walls themselves. So you're actually seeing a white blood cell. White blood cells usually flow straight down the blood vessel pipes. However, when they're stimulated, something foreign's in your body, whether it's a toxin, whether it's a chemical, whether it's a heavy metal, whether it's infectious disease, whether it's a bacteria, parasite, fungus, it does not matter what it is, but if it's in the body and in the tissue, then it sends out chemical signals that the white blood cells realize, wait a minute, there's something foreign in my body, I got to go attack that and get rid of it. The white blood cells are kind of like garbage compactors. They sniff out what doesn't belong there and go find it. But for them to go find it in the tissue, the white blood cells have to come out of the laminar flow they are in with the blood supply, because everything's flowing down the pipes nice and fast. They have to break out of that blood supply and slow down, put the brakes on, and start rolling along the inside walls of the blood vessel walls. And by doing that, it's kind of like they put Velcro little feet up there, and they sort of, by attaching on to the blood vessel walls, which also puts its own Velcro catch up there, they roll along the inside of the walls, and they finally get to the point where the foreign object is that they want to go get. They lock down, and when they lock down, the able can then release chemicals and squeeze out of the blood vessels and go out to the tissue and go find this foreign agent that they actually want to go get rid of. This whole rolling process is the white blood cells can do this rolling as a function of the blood flow behind them. Start slowing down the blood flow by having too many white blood cells there.